What up, guys? Welcome to another video. So today I'm actually gonna paint. I wasn't planning on it, but I got all these parts ready. I'm gonna spray them. I'm gonna lay them out in the sun so they could cure while I do the body work on the body. I haven't touched the body, so I have to wet sand it all. I found a couple little blemishes that I have to repair. I found one crack where I put some fiberglass that I have to sand back down to bare metal and redo. But all that, I can do that stuff in a couple days. So taking my time, of course. I'm gonna spray all this stuff. Now, I know I said I was gonna do a patina look. I gravitated against it and I knew it was gonna happen. The thing is that once you have the car down to this point, it's kind of a shame not to do a nice shiny paint job, which I really didn't want to do, but I have to do it. Now the Firebird, on the other hand, I don't know if you guys have seen my Firebird. I don't know if I've even posted it on the channel, but I'm actually going to post a picture of it right somewhere around here. So that car, I've had that car since I was 15. I parked it outside. My dad put a tarp over it to protect the paint. And here where I live, it gets really windy. We're like in the windy point of the city. So the wind kept moving the tarp around and it kind of sanded the edges of the body down to the primer. I'll show you guys if I can go to my dad's house and take some video of it. But that car might be the one that's gonna take the patina paint job for now, because I do want to paint that car a different color. But we'll see. As of now, I have one color. I have a lot of paint from. I go to the shops, somebody screws up on a gallon and they end up not buying it, or they return it and they give me a good deal on it, and I buy it thinking I'm going to use it on a project, thinking that I'm going to paint it faster than I really will. So I got a couple of gallons of paint. There's one specific one that I really like that might be the one that goes on all these parts, but I'm not sure. I'm going to go buy clear. I do have clear, but I'm going to go buy a higher end clear that hopefully will last me a little longer. So I don't know. I might buy a different color. I basically have an hour to decide what color I want to do, because I'm painting today. These body parts are getting sprayed today. And now, okay, I know I said I'm not going patina, but it's also not going to be a show quality paint job. I want to enjoy my cars. I want to drive them. And it's taken me so long between juggling with work and family and everything, and being cheap and not paying somebody to do the work. It's taken me really long to get all this stuff to this point. So there's a couple little imperfections on the body panels here and there. And if I do go with the color that I want to go, I'm probably going to regret not going through it again. But whatever, it is what it is. Let's just get them painted and move on. For the most part, it's nice. I am going to buy some sealer, spray some sealer, because I didn't prime some of these parts. So let's get some protection so we won't get bleed through from some of the Bondo that's peeking through the primer, stuff like that. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a professional painter. I do paint. I've painted multiple cars. I'm still learning. There's so much crap with painting cars that it's not easy. But hey, we're making it happen. All right, so let me decide what color we're going to do. Let me go buy clear, possibly more paint, and let's get the party going. All right, so I'm going to lay a little bit of sealer down so I can get it all in one color. All right, so I got all these suckers on prime or on sealed, etc., etc. I'm gonna go around, check if I missed any spots. Like right there, I can tell that I missed a bit. Where is it? Right there in the corner. So I'm just gonna go around, touch up anything that I missed. Right there's a little light. This corner right here is a little light. Stuff like that. Doesn't really matter. The paint should cover it because it's it's pretty dark. But just to make sure, let me go turn off my exhaust. All right, so I already went over it. Some spots I missed, touched them up. Once again, this is a sealer. I decided to throw this one in the mix. I wasn't because there's a couple areas. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I keep taking the mask off. There's a couple areas that have texture, but you know what? I'd rather have it cleared because I'm gonna do 3 to 4 coats of clear on it. I'd rather have it cleared and fix it than have to fix it as is. Why? I don't know. Don't judge me. All right. So I'm gonna open the garage just a little bit so I can get more air in here. That freaking line. All right, let's go. I'm gonna have to get the floor wet, so I'm gonna start getting dirty. And we're back. Yes, I know there's a mess on the floor. I really should have water already, but I'm just waiting to spray the clear to throw water on the floor. This is a tack rag that I wanted to get. It's basically really sticky for the people that don't know. And whatever dust or lint, for example, just saw a little bit. You see that right there? Okay, that's a nib on there, but you basically just clean it over. You can barely tell, but that's one pass of base coat. For you people that are wondering, yes, the car is gonna be black. Ironically, it's the color that I didn't want because it's hard to keep a car clean here in the desert, especially a black one. But you know how that works. Yeah, so I just passed everything with a tack rag. So basically, from my point of view, what this does is it takes the dirt off. So when you spray the next the next coat, a base coat, you don't trap that dirt between 2 layers. You don't sandwich it. And then when you spray the clear, that's when you can tell that you screwed up by not using this. Because when you spray the clear, the clear is going to be rough. There's going to be texture. So when you swipe your hand like this on clear coat, you want it to be smooth. If you don't do this, then when you do that, when you swipe your hand like that, it's going to be coarse like sandpaper. Obviously not that bad, but if I were to spray clear, for example, with a floor like this, more than likely it's going to be like sandpaper. There's going to be so much crap in the clear coat. That's why I'm going to spray water before I start clearing. The only reason I haven't done it is because I'm getting on my knees in some areas to spray the bottom. And I've done this before. This is actually worse because I use sealer. I usually don't use sealer because when I'm working on cars, it's usually modern cars, but it is what it is. It's kind of like primer. So when the particles are in the air and they hit the floor, by the time they hit the floor, they're already dry. So that's what's making the dust on the floor. But anyways, we're gonna proceed. Now the base coat, I'm spraying it a lot lower with a lot lower air pressure. So I'm being really careful not to like spray it on the floor and make all these particles go up into the air. But anyway, I'm gonna do one more coat of base when it's clear. What I do is I do 2 medium coats of the color and then 1 light control coat just so I can get the pearls to sit right. And I get used to this because when I do the body of the car, I do the exact same thing, same pressure, same distance. And actually I'm lying, the pressure, I just do whatever feels right. But same distance and everything, and I always get the pearls to sit right, even if I'm painting the car separate like this, if that makes any sense. But yeah. So if you guys are gonna follow my instructions for whatever damn reason, there's something wrong with your brain, because I I'm learning as I go. Like I said, I'm not a professional. As you guys can tell with the floor being this bad. But anyway, if you're doing a solid paint job, 2 to 3 coats is fine. If you use sealer like I did, I used the black sealer over the white, get it all one uniform color. Then from there, I'm spraying 2 base coats. So it's a Pro Black, as you guys probably can't tell yet, but you guys probably already know. Pro Black. I do 2 coats, medium coats. I get good coverage. It's worked for me all the time. If you're not sure, do a 3rd coat. So what I do is I do two coats of base. If it has pearls, I'll do a 3rd coat. I'll double my distance from the panel and then just spray it out like a mist coat, just so you guys can get the pearls to sit right. It's always worked for me. Before I learned that trick, sometimes I would get tiger striping, which is when you're like spraying and you go too far down and you spray again and there's like a little line that you didn't cover right. You can't tell most of the time, especially with bad lighting like this. You can't tell until the car's out in the sun. So if you want to avoid that, do what I'm telling you. Just if you're not sure, 2 coats is enough, go for the 3rd one. You can always buy more paint. It's better to spend another $100 on another quart if you don't have enough for the rest of the body, for example, than to spend another $100 on the quart plus buy more clear coat for it. But yeah, so what I do is I do about from the line in my palm to my fingertips. That's where I start spraying. If it's too heavy, I'll go back another 2 inches. So let's see, I usually spray about here, which is about 6 inches from the panel. Like I said, it's worked out for me. I open the fan as much as it'll go. This gun is amazing. So it's an Iwata, I believe. It better be a damn Iwata. If not, I'm advertising for the wrong people. LS400. This gun was the first gun I sprayed with. I've used multiple guns in different shops, been buddies' shops and everything. I don't know why I love this damn gun. This gun sprays everything really good. I've had it for 6 years too, so it lasts. I haven't rebuilt it yet, and it doesn't need it yet. But anyway, 6 inches from the panel. My speed, usually when you get the first pass of color on the panel, I try to make it even. So obviously it's going to be a little bit like blurry, if that makes any sense. So I get it even. If you're going too fast, you're going to see lines and stuff like that. So just do what's right. Google the crap out of it. Watch a lot of YouTube videos. That's how I learned how to paint, watching YouTube videos. But yeah. And then obviously tack rag between each coat. You can't use a tack rag for clear. So make sure that by the time you clear, you use a tack rag before you clear softly so you won't create any lines. Usually the clear will cover them from my experience, but get your floor wet. And like, for example, right here that there's dust, if you get water on there, it's gonna open up. So there's spots where it's gonna go over the dust and the dust is gonna make the water open up and there's gonna be a dry spot. Use a broom and get it in there because it will screw up your paint job. I can't tell you guys enough how important that is. And like I said, this is me doing it on my own risk because I've done it before and it worked out. But this is a big no-no. Don't have any dust on the damn floor. But anyways, so here's what we got so far. This panel is actually turning out really good. This is what I was telling you guys that I wanted to fix. But I don't know. I might, the headlamp might cover most of it. Like I said, it's not a show quality car. It's a daily driver quality. Pretending to be a show car. But yeah, and stuff like this, I know the radiator is gonna go here, so on the bottom I try not to waste paint there, so I'll just do 1 coat, and if it's still a little dry, I'll do another one, but I won't do the 3rd one. Same thing with the back. Just do 1 heavy coat, and that's about it. Before you lay the clear, make sure you go through the whole panel and the whole car, because there's gonna be spots that you miss. Especially like spots like back here. You want to get everything good, uniform, and just make sure you do it once and you get it over with, because it's a pain in the ass to have to fix these panels and reshoot them. But all right, so I'm gonna use my tag rack again. I try to avoid hard corners, so I typically extend it and then just go once, very light pressure. You don't need to go crazy with it. I I go once, I try to keep a good eye. Like right there, there's a, you can see it right there. So that, it'll take it off, but you're gonna be a little, you can't be as gentle, and when you spray another pass, go a little heavier there. If that makes any sense. You'll get the hang of it. The more you spray, I know I'm rambling, but the more you spray, the more you learn. I've honestly painted cars that, oh crap, that look like they're better quality than shops that I know of. And all of my cars have usually been sprayed in here. And the reason why I say this isn't gonna be a show quality car is because I missed a couple things, and I knew that I missed them, and I don't give a crap because I want to enjoy the damn car. Like right there, there's a little crack, if I can find it, right there. Stuff like that, it doesn't bother me. I'm gonna do stripes in the future. So when I do the stripes, I'll take care of it. I just really need to get this car back on the road and start enjoying my vehicles. All right, so like I said, when you start spraying the clear coat, that's where all your lint, dust mites, or not dust mites, just dust particles are gonna start appearing. It doesn't matter how well you clean your garage, it's gonna happen. You might get one or two. If you're lucky, you won't get any, but I mean, it's happened. Or I've done paint jobs where I don't have anything, but very hard for that to happen. All right, and even though that there shouldn't be dust under here, I'm gonna go over it because I hate having to wet sand door jambs. The way I set up my pressure gun, or the pressure on my gun, I don't have a reader or whatever, a pressure gauge. I go by ear, so if it sounds like bacon and it makes me hungry, that's like sizzling bacon, that's what I stick to. All right, and stuff like here, like here, I know the door panel covers all the way up to this side, so usually I just spray here, and I was about to do it. I wasn't gonna go all the way down, which then when you have your door panel, you're gonna have either a fade into the old color, or it's just gonna look wrong. So might as well back up, take a minute, go through the whole vehicle, and yeah. And another thing I want to emphasize for you guys that are actually planning on trying this color is actually not that bad, but I've had colors that I'm painting, and let's say this corner right here, you can see a lot of dots and weird textures. You go again with paint and it won't go away. Stuff like that, usually when you, and the only reason I'm saying usually is because I don't want you guys to try and be like, it didn't work out. Usually when that happens and you spray the clear, it'll make it disappear. So the clear fixes a lot of crap. It's very forgiving. But you gotta kind of experiment. So don't be scared, grab panels, paint them. Worst case scenario, you're gonna have to redo them. Or even if you really screw it up, you're gonna take them to the shop and they'll fix it. It's not the end of the world. So get out there, learn, and have fun. All right, let me start mixing my clear. Actually, no, I'm gonna do one more, the control coat. Here, I'll show you. Okay, so the control coat. So usually, see what I mean? That's the stuff you gotta watch out for. Usually I spray, let's say, can't really tell. I spray this close. With a control coat, I'm gonna go back about 4 inches and just spray it very evenly and very slowly. All right, so I'll skip that panel. For example, right here. Usually I would spray like this close. I don't know if you guys can see, my bad. Right now I'm gonna go further. That's it. That's it. Like parts like this that aren't gonna be visible, don't worry about it. I'll do another example. This panel. Sorry, I'm just getting some of the dust I can see off. This panel, so let me hold this a little better. Usually I'll spray right here. This time I'm gonna spray higher. Even. That's another thing I should point out. Usually I do an overlap, the fan overlap. I go about, depending on the color, if it's a color that won't cover easily, I'll go 50%. If it will cover easily, I'll go about 75%, 70 to 75%. Right now, what you guys saw me do, I already forgot what the hell I did, but I typically try to go about 80%. I go over it so I won't get dry edges, and then it's gonna suck and it's gonna be a bad idea to do this. So just make sure you get even coverage. By the time you're done spraying it, it should look even like that, kind of like foggy. And once it dries, it'll look perfect. All right, so let me finish the rest. Alright, and I'm not sponsored by any of this crap, but this clear, I've used it in the past and I've always had good results with it. We did spray one car where it yellowed after like 4 years, but I'm not sure. I can't remember. The guy that I sprayed it with, he says that we used this clear. I really can't remember, and I think it wasn't this clear, so don't quote me on it. Just keep that in mind. And the car was white. It was a Pro White, so I've always seen Pro Whites. Whenever somebody does a reshoot and they use Pro White, for some reason it always yellows after a certain amount of years. But anyways, with that said, other cars that I sprayed, I sprayed a gray Jeep about 5 years ago as well, and it looks perfect. The color still looks good. The Jeep looks perfect. If you buff it, it'll get rid of the swirls. Everything looks fine. So like I said, it's been good. The price went down on it. I used to buy it used to be like $220 at the shop that I used to buy it with or at, and usually that shop always sells everything super expensive, so it might have been jacked up by them. But right now I bought it at the same shop. The guy gave me a discount. It was like about 160, 140 or 160, I can't remember. But use this clear, it's good stuff. Another clear that I've used is this Harbor City clear. I did spray another Jeep. Holy crap. I sprayed another Jeep with it 2 years ago, maybe going on 3, with actually this same paint. It was that exact same gallon. I painted it white, from black to white. 2 years later, I painted both bumpers and the flares. It was an SRT. It was my wife's Jeep, so I painted the flares and the color is way off. So I don't know if this yellowed, or another thing that somebody told me is that I used this reducer, and when I painted it the first time, I used another pink reducer. I don't remember the brand, HE something. And the guy that bought me this clear told me that the reason why it yellowed was because I used different brand reducers on the base coat. So now, I don't know if that's true or not, or he's just trying to sell me shit, but just pay attention to that type of stuff. Yeah, let me mix it up. Now this one I believe is 2 parts of the, I guess 4321. That's probably the number on it. These all go by numbers and I always forget. It's 2 parts of the big one, 1 part of the small one. And usually you want to clean out your cup, but I don't give a shit, so I'm just gonna mix it there and throw it into the gun. Just kidding, I'm gonna go with a Big Daddy right here. Spray a lot because I know I'm gonna run out. Hopefully this is a fall. I'm doing it one-handed. Holy crap, just squirted everywhere. So the way this mixing ratio works, 2 parts, which is the first row of lines, 2 parts, so I get it all the way to 3 and then do the hardener or whatever the hell the other one's called to the 1 on this side. 2 to 1, that's how it works. This is for people that don't know. Obviously, if you guys are professionals, get out of here or enjoy and shut up. All right, so it's at the 3. Okay, it needs a little more to be at the 3. Let's be exact on this one. Where is it? It's at the 3. And yes, you go through a lot of clear. A lot of people don't realize it, but just so you guys know, you're gonna go through a lot of clear. 1 gallon is barely enough for a car, especially if you're doing 4 passes. So 2, you go from the 3 to the next 3. It's a lot of clear. Make sure you cover it with something when you're not using it. And another tip I'll give you guys, or at least some advice, when you mix stuff like this, don't use dirty stuff first of all. But when you mix stuff like this, let it sit for a little bit. because I've mixed it, poured it into the gun, and then sprayed it, and I've had 2 instances where I get chemical reactions. And I have a couple, you can call them mentors, that I go for advice on painting. They've been doing it for years, but both of them told me that since I'm not mixing it enough, it's a reaction that the paint does on the panels, like cracking, stuff like that. All right, I'm freaking excited. So right now I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. Like I said, cover it with something. I'll find something right now and I'll cover it. And while I cover it, I'm gonna get the floor wet and get that untangled, because that's a big no-no too. Trust me, that will flip around, smack your panel. Right now, I don't care. I don't mind getting the gun dirty again and respraying it. When it's clear coat and it bangs on there, the clear coat keeps this is gonna sound retarded, but the clear coat keeps the base coat moist when you spray it till it hardens. And since it's moist, if that hose hits it, your clear coat's gonna go bye-bye wherever it hits it. It's gonna mess everything up, and then you're gonna have to reshoot it. You might get lucky and not happen, but more than likely it will. All right, give me a second while I prep. And even though you're tempted, do not use a broom on this, because it'll get everything up in the air and it'll screw up your paint job. So just lightly, either get a bucket full of water and throw the bucket on the floor and use a broom and very lightly move the water around, or use a hose with an attachment with very low pressure. Because if you go high pressure and let's say you spray it on there and it bounces on the panel, you're gonna have to clean it. You won't mess it up, but you're gonna have to clean it. All right, I'm getting wet. This is what I meant by the water. Very hydrophobic, I guess you can call it. See? You gotta persuade it in there. Just be very slow and careful about it. You don't want to splash it everywhere. Get a lot of water because it dries up very quickly because the floor is warm. Once you do this and you're ready to spray, clear. Make sure you tack it off very lightly. Ooh, one more time. I'm gonna get a little bit more water for this side. Make sure, don't be lazy. Get in there every nook and cranny. Make sure you get it all the way to the other side. All right, that should be enough. Here's where some of us don't listen and we're very hard-headed, and it's dumb because it's our own health. Use a respirator. I know you're gonna see me do dumb things. I'm gonna try to avoid it. If I'm gonna continue to do videos, I might not wear a respirator sometimes, or I might not wear safety glasses or goggles or whatever you want to call them. Just wear them. I've had metal straps or whatever the hell they're called, pieces of metal. Long story short, I was cutting some springs to lower a truck on a budget. I used goggles. I was about, I don't know, I was almost done cutting it. The part was already, like the spring that I was cutting off was already loose and it just wouldn't come off. Grabbed the grinder, just zapped that little piece. I wasn't wearing goggles when I zapped that little piece. Jumped into my eye, I had to get surgery. So don't be dumb. All right, before I drop the clear, I just wanted to explain. Typically on paint jobs like this, I go for the hard to get areas first. For example, this is very tight and very full of dust. Thug life. I would typically, if I'm doing 3 coats, I would go with 1 coat on this side and the inside. The second coat would just be on the exterior, and then the third coat would also be on the inside. Since I'm gonna do 4 coats of clear on this whole car, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do 1 on the outside, just on the fenders. And then the second coat is gonna be a full coat. The third coat is just gonna be on the outside, and the 4th coat is gonna be a full coat. The reason being is because under the hood, the sun doesn't hit it. So it's kind of pointless to spray all the clear under there. If you're balling, then do 4 coats on everything. The reason why I don't want to do that is because usually when I do 4 coats, on the 4th coat, I get a little bit of orange peel, and I really don't want to color sand and buff the inside of the engine bay. And that's just how I'm doing it. You can do whatever the hell you want. And I'm out. Let me show you before, because you can't hear me with the mask on. So like I said, remember this? Look at the pearls. You probably can't see them, but okay, you can't see them. God damn it. All right, that's the first coat down. Here's the top piece. That one didn't come out as nice as I wanted to. There's a lot of orange peel on it. A couple little nips of trash and stuff like that. I forgot to go to hit the bottom of that. But you see how dry it is? I try to avoid that. Typically I go a little bit heavier, like here. But I was running out of clear. So the next pass I'm gonna go a little bit heavier. All right, I don't have memory on my phone, so I'm gonna make it quick. I'll go delete some videos. This is the fourth coat. Looks beautiful. Like I said, I could see some slight little defects, but not too bad, not too bad. All right, so we're done. This has been about 2 hours. Paint pretty dry to the touch. You don't want to pick this stuff up, especially if it's heavy, because your fingerprints will get etched in the clear. Like I said, it's a daily driver. It's not a show quality car, so you're gonna see a couple imperfections. Like on the spoiler, you can see a mark around there somewhere, right there, from I guess a manufacturing process. I still don't know if I'm gonna do a silver grille, matte black grille. I'll leave that for a later date. It does have some trim that goes on the side. And the reason why I didn't restore this grille properly is because I'm tempted to go the RS route, but I won't know till I put the car back together. I've always liked this grille, but the RS on a black car, it hits different. But that's the color we chose, and I'm excited. No stripes, no nothing. Could have been a little better. Bodywork could have been done a little better. But I mean, I can't complain. For a quick project, I mean, I know I've been working on it for 4 years, but it's only been about a month of work between those 4 years. Most of it was metal work. But anyways, I'm tired. Believe it or not, this is tiring. I'm excited for tomorrow. I already ordered the handles, so I'm gonna start piecing things together before I throw it in the car. Yeah, we'll go from there. Beautiful color. You guys like it? How about now? See you guys on the next one.